So, good day, everyone. So, this will be our lecture number 3 for the fluid mechanics lecture. So, for this topic, now we will just talk about static forces on surfaces. Okay, so both on plane submerged and curved submerged in a fluid. Okay? So, first, let's talk about action of fluid pressure on a surface. So it says here that since pressure is defined as the force per unit area, so we know that already, no, from our engineering mechanics. When fluid pressure P acts on a solid boundary or across any plane, the fluid, the force exerted on each small element of area delta A will be P delta A. Okay, since galing nga siya sa ano natin, no, sa ating formula that pressure is equal to force over area. Therefore, yung ating pressure, or sorry, force rather, is equal to pressure times area. Since elemental or element or portion lang, delta A yung ginagamit natin na area. Okay? So, these forces will act right angles, no, to the boundary of the solid plane. Kaya nakikita nyo dyan, no, may tatlo tayong illustration dyan, no, kapag naka-plane lang, naka-curve, and usually kapag cylindrical or somehow similar to your uh, stresses on the thin-walled vessels, okay, from your engineering mechanics. So, the same yun, nag-act yun ng perpendicular to that surface. So, kung may maliliit tayong area with respect to your pressure and uniform pressure to, sabihin pare-pareha siya, pwede rin namang iba-iba, depende nga kasi sa covered area niya. Di ba kasi hindi naman pare-parehas specifically yung pressure to that certain element of area, pero yung force, pwede rin hindi pare-parehas. Pero if we're going to take the resultant force or R, in this case, the resultant force is yung summation ng ating maliliit na forces. Okay? Or in this case, summation ng ating mga P sub N delta A sub N. Okay? So, kung may maliliit kayong area, so yan, pag pinag-sum up natin lahat yan, this will become our resultant force. Okay? So, from that concept ng ating force, okay, and then pressure and then area, now let's talk about resultant force and center of pressure on the plane surface under uniform pressure. From the term itself, uniform pressure. So, somehow similar dun sa inyong application of your engineer mechanics. Okay? So, mga uniformly distributed load. So, yun din yung tatawag na uniform pressure. Kaya, sa atin, sa kapag uniform yung pressure natin or the pressure P on the plane, horizontal surface in a fluid at rest, take note yung ating point at rest, will be the same at all points and would act vertically downwards at right angles. So, for example, ito yung ating area. Yan, ito yung ating area covered. Let's say ito. So, yan. Okay. So, mag-act daw siya yung force, no, perpendicular, let's say ito yon, no, yung force natin, dun sa ating centroid, okay, and then right angle. Ayan. So, at a right angle. Okay? So, it will act vertically downwards and the center pressure will be the centroid of the surface. Sabihin, ito, na yung ating centroid, in this case, will be also the center of pressure. Okay? So, center of pressure dahil dun tumatama yung force due to pressure. Okay? With respect to your area. Okay? So, for gases, the variation of pressure with elevation is small, and so it is usually possible to assume that the gas pressure on the surface is uniform, even though the surface may not be horizontal. Kumbaga, hindi man tumatama siya hindi siya naka-horizontal yung ating orientation, let's say, ng body. Assume, dahil nga yung variation ng pressure sa gases ay maliit. 'Di ba? From our formula, no, ng ating pressure ng gases, if you still remember that, no? So, rho RT, 'di ba? Rho density times the gas constant times the temperature. Okay? So, may variation kasi, no? May variation pero maliit. Okay? It states that the resultant force is then PA acting through the center of the plane surface. So, kapag gases, medyo dahil maliit nga, no, as stated here, no, maliit yung tinatawag natin na variation of pressure with elevation, no, maliit, small. So, ina-assume na lahat na lang nung tumatama yung surface na yon ay katulad ng kung paano natin ina-assume yung nauna natin dinidiscuss. Ito, yung merong centroid and central pressure. It's the same, no? With the analysis. Okay? So, now, let's move with the resultant force and the central pressure on the plane surface immersed or submerged in a liquid. Okay, so ito na. The figure shows, ayan, nakikita tayo, PQ, a plane surface PQ of any area A, totally immersed in a liquid of density rho and inclined at angle phi to the free surface. Ayan. Considering one side only, and nakikita nyo no, on the left side of your screen, this side elevation, and then eto, front elevation siya no, nung inyong liquid, no, yung nasa kanan. There will be a force due to fluid pressure P acting on each element area delta A. Parang katulad kanina na meron tayong mga maliliit na area. No? Since hindi yung body, hindi naman always regular yung shape. Okay? The magnitude P will depend on the vertical depth Y of the element below the free surface. Ayan, nakikita natin yung ating illustration. So, yung distance din natin dito, okay, is the distance of the... By the way, no, let's define muna yung mga nakikita natin dyan. Okay? Yung C natin is what we call, yung tinatawag natin na center of pressure. Ito yung ating center of pressure. Okay? Sa center of pressure, tumatama, just like yung kanina sa ating discussion kapag uniform, tumatama yung ating R, which is yung tinatawag natin na resultant force. Okay? Resultant force. Okay? So, yung G na nakikita nyo dyan, no, is what we call yung ating centroid or the center of gravity. Okay? So, yan yung ating delta A, yung element. Okay? Yung D, the distance of your center of pressure to the free surface. Y bar is the distance of your centroid to the free surface. And then Y is the distance of, vertical distance of the element delta A to the free surface. Etong P na to is yung ating angle of depression. Okay? Since nakalubog nga siya. Okay? Doon sa ating, or nakasubmerge doon sa ating liquid. Okay? So, ito yung ating mga element. Now, so, paano natin makakompute yung mga nakikita natin dyan ng mga element? So, let's have our illustration again. Okay? So, from your kanina doon sa ating illustration, so, or doon sa ating unang discuss, sabi natin, resultant force, okay, or yung R, resultant force, or R, is equal to P times the area. Okay? So, from that, alam natin that pressure is, from our variation of pressure, gamma H times the area. Okay? In this case, yung H na to, na nakikita natin, this H, is also what we call the distance ng ating center of gravity ng fluid. Okay, sabihin yung gitna niya. Okay? So, if we're going to cut a section, no, parang ganito. So, let's say ito yung ating liquid height, let's say H. So, pa nag-cut tayo ng section dito, kumbaga, kinukuha na natin, no, nandito sa gitna, top view, ito yung kanyang centroid, nasa gitna, pero kinukuha natin yung sa pinakababa dito sa point na to. Kaya, kinukuha natin yung ating maximum height. Okay? So, yan yung H natin. In this case, mukhang ito yung magiging Y bar natin since pinag-uusapan natin is center of gravity or centroid. So, palitan natin. R is equal to gamma Y bar A. Ano yung A? A is the area ng ating body of the surface or of the plane, no? Of the plane surface. Okay? So, yung ating resultant force. Okay? So now, ano pa yung mga nakikita natin? So meron tayong resultant force. So we also have, no? Ano ba ba? So, if we want to know the element, no, or force on the element delta A, yan nakikita nyo ba dun sa ating illustration? So if we want to know the force on the element delta A, okay, yung ating force dito, since meron tayong maliit na area, so gagamitan natin ng almost the same formula, no? Kung ang resultant is gamma y delta A, so let's say force or force sub n para sa mga maliit is gamma, imbis na y bar is y, ayun nakikita nyo doon sa illustration, times the delta A. Okay? Or delta A sub n. Or ito, y sub n. Kasi hindi natin alam eh. 'Di ba? Kung ano man yon. So, kung pagsasama-samahin natin lahat, isasum lang natin yung ating uh, forces no, on the element delta A. Kung ilan man yon yung delta A. Hanggang sa makuha natin yung total or yung ating resultant force. Okay? So, yan yung ating mga forces na nag-act. Okay? So, ngayon, paano natin mako-compute yung ating D or distance of the center of pressure to the distance or to the surface. Okay, from distance of the center of pressure papunta doon sa surface. So, pwede rin if known yung ating distance ng pagitan ng center of gravity to the center of pressure. Ngayon, since hindi natin alam kung ano man yung distance na yon, ang alam lang natin is the distance of the centroid, the distance of the delta element, and so on. No? Kapag ganon, we have to compute no, yung ating distance, no? Distance, yan, of the center of pressure to the surface. Okay? O ito yung ating letter D na distance. Okay? So, let's copy this illustration para ma-visualize natin. Yan. Okay. So, ano yung D na distance na yan? Okay? So, to compute for that distance, okay, since we are dealing with forces, no? Gawin natin, we know that from our first discussion kanina, that the resultant force is equal to the summation of your forces. Okay? So, if that's the case, we could say that gamma A y bar or gamma y bar A is equal to the summation ng ating gamma, or in this case, density yung ginamit. No? Kung liquid density yung ginamit, alam natin that gamma is rho g. Ayan. Pwede nyo i-substitute pala, no? By the way, if you want to use density, not gamma or unit weight, we could use rho g instead of unit weight gamma. Okay? So, balik tayo dito. Resultant force is equal to the summation of forces, no? Yung mga element forces. So, gamma, summation of gamma, delta A sub n, kung ilan man yon, and then y. Okay? O yan yung ating baseline from the summation of forces na nag-act. At yan ay galing dun sa una natin pinag-usapan, which is ito, yung ating summation of or action of fluid pressure on a surface. Okay, ayan. So, now let's go back here. Okay. So, paano natin magagamit yan, no? Using Varignon's theorem or summation of moment to a certain point. Okay? Ngayon ang tanong, paano tayo mag-sum ng moment? Mag-sum tayo ng moment to a certain point, which is in this case, yung ating point O. Okay? Now, we know that in Varignon's theorem, okay, the summation of moment of R resultant force to point O is equal also to the summation of forces, yung mga maliliit na forces, papunta sa point O. Okay, using Varignon's theorem. So, in this case, kunin muna natin yung moment, summation of moment ng point O due to the resultant force or moment of at point O due to the resultant or MO sub R. Okay. So, MO sub R is equal to, yan, so let's see here, gamma, resultant, A, Y bar. Now, what is the moment arm of this gamma? Or let's say of this resultant. So in this case, yung nakikita nyo doon sa illustration natin, this is distance OC, no? Yung segment natin. Okay? Or distance OC times OC. Yan. Okay? Ayan yung ating distance. So now, we don't know that distance OC, no? Pero we could use the properties of a triangle para malaman natin. Paano? So, in this case, no, let's look at the illustration again. So, if this is the distance C, then OOC. So, ito yung ating free surface. Ayan. So, ito yung ating angle phi. Kung ito yung ating C or the center pressure, di ba sabi natin, ang distance daw doon sa ating center pressure papuntang free surface ay D. So, we could say that OC is equal to D sine sorry. OC is equal to D over sine P. Baliktad, no? Yan. D yan, over sine P. So, in this case, no, yung ating moment sa point O due to the resultant is gamma AY bar multiplied by D over sine P. Yan. So, meron na tayong isang moment. Okay? So, ito na. Meron tayong isa. So, now, let's take the moment of the forces na maliliit, no? Let's take yung ating moment ng mga forces na maliliit to a certain point, yung ating point O. So, moment of yung ating maliliit na forces, yan. Ano yung ating moment na yun? So, moment due to the maliliit na forces. So, magkasama ka ng moment. Eh, dahil constant naman yung ating, unit weight, okay? They are all constant naman because yung ating density ay constant. Constant to yung ating density. So, ilabas na natin siya, no? Gamma or rho g, pwede rin. Times the, this is, magkasama tayo ng moment. So, may summation, no? This is summation ng, anong kailangan natin? So, summation, or kunin mo natin yung isa, no? Isang maliit. So, this is, yan, ilagay natin. Summation ng, ano yung mga natin? So, ang intindihin na lang natin ay delta A y sub n. Ayan. Okay. Delta A y sub n. So, type natin. So, isulit natin. Delta A sub n. Ayan. Y sub n. Ayan. Okay. So, ayan yung ating distance. Kaso, we have to convert it in such a way na yung ating distance ay perpendicular kasi moment. Diba? So, times, ano pa yung kailangan natin? So, may perpendicular tayong distance na S. Yan. So, lahat ito ay nakalagay sa summation na ito. Yan. Okay? Or S sub n din. Kasi natin alam di ba, madami. So, the moment due to the maliliit na forces is gamma or rho g equal to the summation ng, so yung ating y or y dito is, kung ating d ay kung yung ating OC na distance is equal to d over sine phi, so yung ating y distance ay equal saan? So kung titingnan natin, so let's say ito yung ating S na distance, ito yung ating phi, so ito yung ating y, so ating y is equal to S sine phi. So delta A sub n, S sub n sine phi multiplied by S sub n. Ayan. Okay? Or, the moment ng ating mga maliliit na force is equal to gamma kasi constant naman yan, summation ng delta A sub n S squared sub n sine P. Okay? So now, we know that through Varigno's theorem, etong dalawa na to ay equal. Okay? Equal yan. So, ilipat natin dito. So, sabi natin kung equal yan, that summation, moment about point R is equal to, moment of resultant at point O is equal to moment of maliliit ng forces at point O. Ano nga ulit ang moment at point R? Gamma AY bar multiplied by D over sine P. So, gamma AY bar multiplied by D over sine P is equal to to, yung mga maliliit. So, gamma multiplied by the summation ng ating delta A sub n, yan, S squared sub n multiplied by sine phi. Okay? Eh, alam naman natin na yung ating sine phi is constant, no? Yung angle naman natin ay isa lang. So, let's simplify this, no? This will become gamma A y bar D over sine phi is equal to gamma sine phi multiplied by the summation ng ating, eto, delta A sub n S squared sub n. And we know from our engineering mechanics, no? Using the moment of inertia, no? Kapag transfer formula yung pinag-uusapan natin, just to remember that, no? Kapag transfer formula ng ating moment of inertia, so if you still remember, no? Let's say summation or moment of inertia to a certain point, let's say x, is the moment of inertia nung gross nung ating area plus a d squared. Since etong a d squared na to is the same with the moment of inertia, bakit? We know that when you say moment of inertia is the second moment of the area. So if this is the total area, yung A, so malamang yung ating D ay yung distance ng ating area to a certain point, no? Kung sa ating kinukuha yung moment of inertia. Tama ba sabihin na itong ating A delta A S squared N is the moment of inertia of that body, etong buo na to point O? Kasi tinransfer natin siya using no, yung ating transfer formula ng moment of inertia. Ito. So if that's the case, so let's further simplify. Delta AY bar times D over sine P is equal to gamma sine P, and this is equal to the moment of inertia. So common parehas yung gamma both sides of the equations. Pwede nating matanggal. Okay, kasi divide both sides by gamma. Matitira na lang is AY bar D is equal to sine squared P I sub O. So, for finding the distance D is equal to sine squared P multiplied by I sub O over A Y bar. So, ito yung ating equation para sa distance ng ating center of pressure to the surface. Using the moment of inertia to a certain point to sa surface, sabihin using the transfer formula, ito, no? Yung ating transfer formula for the moment of inertia. Ayan. So, transfer formula for the moment of inertia. And then, over the area multiplied by the y bar or the distance of the center of gravity to the surface. Okay? So, we could also use yung tinatawag natin na radius of gyration. Ano yung radius of gyration? Radius of gyration is the square root, no, of the moment of inertia to a certain point to the area. So let's say, let's use K in this case, no? Square root ng I over A. Now, if we want to know the radius of gyration to a certain point, no? Kunin lang natin yung moment of inertia to that point over the area. So in this case, if we want to know the radius of gyration about point O, that is square root of I sub O over the area. Okay? So, if we want to know the radius of gyration to the centroid, okay? So, K sub G is equal to the moment of inertia on the centroid over the area. Okay? So, this distance also, no, nakikita natin, ayan. So, pwede pa na natin i-substitute, no? From distance na sine squared phi multiplied by the moment of inertia about point O over AY bar, since alam natin na K sub O is equal to square root ng I sub O over A, pwede tayong mapalitan, no, that D is equal to sine squared phi multiplied by, since ito square root, so lalabas na lang ito ay K sub squared O Y bar. Okay? So, yan din yung distance. Okay? Now, if hindi tayo nag-sum ng moment papuntang point O or ang ginawa natin ay inalam natin, no? Or kinuha natin yung tinatawag natin na kinuha na lang natin yung ating from the centroid or from the center of gravity, yung ating ding d distance will also be equal to, ito yung isang formula, d is equal to sine squared p. So, kanina gumamit tayo ng moment of inertia, radius of gyration about point O. So, pwede na nila natin gamitin no yung ating radius of gyration, moment of inertia about the centroid. So, this will be equal to k sub g squared. So, bala ito pala over y bar pala to. So, over y bar, yan, plus y bar. Okay. So, ito yung ating isang formula. So, meron tayong dalawang formula na pwedeng gamitin using the radius of gyration. Okay? So, ito yung ating mga distances from the center of pressure papunta sa ating free surface. Okay? So, yan yung ating mga formulas na pwedeng gamitin. So, now, to have the application nitong pinag-uusapan natin na nakasubmerge, no? Ito, yan katulad yan, nakasubmerge or immerse in a fluid yung ating plane. Let's have our sample problem. Yan. Sabi dito, a trapezoidal opening in a vertical wall of a tank is closed by a flat plate which is hinged at its upper edge. The plate is symmetrical about its center line and is 1.5 meters deep. Its upper edge is 2.7 meters long and its lower edge is 1.2 meters long. The free surface of the water in the tank stands 1.1 meters above the upper edge of the plate. Calculate the moment about the hinge line required to keep the plate closed. So, isa-isahin natin yung sinabi sa problem. Sabi sa atin, meron daw tayong trapezoidal opening in a vertical wall. So, let's say ito muna yung let's say ito yung vertical wall daw. Now, i-drawing muna natin, no? Ito. Front view muna. Yan. Let's say ito yung ating vertical wall. Sabi sa atin, meron daw trapezoidal opening. Yan. And closed by a flat plate which is hinged at its upper edge. So, lalabas, nandito siguro, no? Yung ating trapezoidal opening. Ito. Ayan, pag ganyan. Pag ganyan. Okay. Tapos, naka-hinge daw dito, no? Naka-hinge. Ayan. Hinge siya dito. Hinge. So, bakit ganyan yung inassume ko na itsura? Kasi sabi dito, yung sumunod, the plate is symmetrical about center line and is 1.5 meters deep. So, kung ito yung level ng liquid, no, yung water, ito, dito, kasi baka daw, di ba sakto no? Para hindi, ito lang yung bumubukas. So, ito daw, yung depth daw nito ay 1.5 meters. Ayan. And then, yung ating center line is symmetrical, no? Yung ating plate is symmetrical. Its upper edge 2.7 meters and lower edge is 1.2 meters. So, tama nga, kasi ito yung upper edge, 1.2 meters, 2.7 meters, ito ay 1.2 meters. Yan. Tapos, since meron siyang liquid, sabi dito, the free surface of the water in the tank stands 1.5 meters, 1.1 meters above the upper edge of the plate. So, dito daw, 1.1 meters yung distance. Ang tanong sa atin ay, calculate the moment about the hinge line required to keep the plate closed. So, para mas madali natin siyang ma-appreciate, gawin natin siyang vertical or side elevation. So, let's say ito yung ating upper part ng plate, no? Nandito yung hinge. Yan. Tapos, let's say ito yung ating isa sa mga gate. Yan. So, ito yung trapezoid natin. So, let's say may gate pa rin yan dito, no? Yan, meron pa din yan dito. Yan. So, ito, yung ating free surface. Yan. Ganyan siya. Sabi sa atin, ay, ito daw ay nag-stands na 1.1 meter. Ito ay, yan, 1.5 meters. Okay? Ang tinatanong sa atin, calculate daw yung moment dito sa hinge na to. Let's say this is H, no, para sa hinge. Okay. First things first, para ma-compute natin ito, no? Kasi mukhang kailangan natin para ma-compute, no? Sa moment is to compute for the moment sa hinge, okay? Moment about hinge or M sub H is yung ating resultant na force na tumatama sa gate times yung kanyang moment arm, no? So, paano yun? Let's say, nandito, ito yung resultant na to, times this moment arm, kung ano man to. Kung ano man yan. Let's say, in this case, o kung ano man yan, let's say, X. Yan. O, so, R times X. Yan. Ngayon, di natin makakompute, no? Yan ating solution, no? Diyan pupunta yung solution natin. But we know that the resultant force R is equal to gamma A y bar. So, mukhang kailangan natin makompute yung area and yung ating y bar. Yan. So, to compute for the area, water ba yung nasa liquid? So, basahin na natin yung problem. Ang sabi kasi, free surface of the water. So, water, so alam natin na yung gamma or yung property ng ating water ay 9.81. Ito, yung gamma natin is 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter. So now, let's compute muna yung ating area, no? Area ng ating trapezoid. So kung ito ay trapezoid, so pwede naman nating i-diretso na. No? Pwede ba nating i-diretso? Pwede naman. Or pwede nating isa-isahin yung area nung trapezoid using composite elements of the area. So magkakaroon tayo ng area ng triangle at isang area ng rectangle. Yung area ng triangle, dalawa. Or let's say A sub 1 for the triangle. So A sub 1 is, kung ito ay 2.7, symmetrical daw. So 2.7 minus 1.2, 1.5 divide sa 2, 0.75 itong isa sa mga base ng triangle. So area of triangle is 1 half times 0.75 meters multiplied by yung height, sabi is 1.5 yan, meters. Okay? So this will give us a value of 0.5625 square meter. So, isa lang yan sa area ng triangle. So, for the area ng rectangle, that is base times height. So, that is base 1.2 meter by 1.5 meters. So, it will give us 1.8 square meter. So, for the total area, it will give us, so, area, dalawang area sub 1 for the triangle plus area ng ating rectangle. It will give us, the total area is, pag pinag-add natin yan, 2.925 yan, square meter. Okay? So, yan yung ating total area. Okay? So, bakit natin kinuha yung mga element or composite? Dahil, we want to know yung location ng ating centroid dun sa isa sa mga base or section ng ating trapezoid. So, let's draw the trapezoid here. No? Yung trapezoid lang. Yan. So, if this is the trapezoid na ina-analyze natin, yan. Sabi natin, ito, no, meron tayo ditong area ng triangle. Yan. Assuming na parehas yan. So, this is 0.75. Yan, 0.75 ito. This is 1.2 meters. Yan. And this is, yan, 1.5 meters. Yan. So, alamin natin yung magiging location ng ating centroid. Ito, let's say ito, papunta dito. Ano to? Let's say, designate that as letter Y. Okay? Alamin natin yan kasi we have to know kung ano yung distance naman nung centroid na to. Ito. In this case, this is your centroid papunta sa free surface o yung tatawag natin na y bar. Before we compute for the y bar, kasi yun yung kailangan natin, alamin muna natin itong y na distance na yan. So using yan, Varignon's theorem, no, o yung paggamit natin ng total area dun sa ating kumbaga nag-sum tayo ng moments of the area, no? So we have the total area times y is equal to twice ng area ng ating triangle, and then multiply natin. Sana magiging centroid ba nitong triangle na to? So in this case, no, this is 1/3 ng inyong height kasi from the base. So times 1/3 ng inyong height, no, 1.5 yan, meters. Yan. Plus, okay, area ng rectangle, area sub 2, multiplied by kalahati ng inyong height, no, 1.5 meters. Ayan. Yan. So, what is the total area? 2.925 y is equal to twice ng ating 0.5625 times 1/3 ng 1.5 is 0.5. Yan. Plus area ng rectangle is 1.8 times kalahati nito, 0.75. So, hindi ko na nilagay yung unit, pero since alam natin ito ay square meter, ito square meter, ito square meter times meter, so cubic meter yung nasa kanang side ng inyong equation, and then may matitirang square meter sa kabila, dividing that, so ang resulting unit is meter. So, ang ating distance y is equal to 0.6538. Ayan, 461,538 meters. Ayan. So, kinokompleto ko para hindi tayo mag-round off or mag-round up. Okay? So, kung may gusto nyo pang ipahabahin, okay lang. Or if you want to use your calculator to store this value, you may do so. Para hindi nyo pa ulit-ulit na sinusulat. Okay? So, ayan yung ating distance na y. So, kung babalik tayo dun sa illustration, eto. So, yung distance ng y bar, eto. Oh, eto. Ito, let's say ito yung centroid. Yan. Yung distance na to, yung natin na y bar, kasi kailangan natin, because of this, so, kailangan natin, y bar is equal to, so ating magiging y bar, dito na lang, y bar is equal to y plus, ano nga ulit yung distance ng water at the edge from the top of the edge of the plate, 1.1 meters. So, plus, yan, 1.1 meters. So, y bar is equal to, ayan, yung mahaba. So, 1.75, yan, and so on. Yung 38461, yan, 38 or 4, yan. Kung gusto nyo pang ipahabain, okay lang. Okay? So, since meron na tayong y bar, we also have this area. So, now we could compute for the resultant force. So, resultant force. So, meron na tayong isa sa kailangan natin para makompute yung moment. So, R is equal to gamma A Y bar, or pwede rin namang equal din to sa rho G A Y bar. Either of the two. Kung binigyan kayo ng density, pwedeng rho G. Kung binigyan kayo unit weight ang gamitin nyo. Okay? So, resultant force is equal to 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter multiplied by the total area, no, 2.925 square meter multiplied by the y bar na 1.75 yan, yung mahaba. So, our resultant force is equal to 50.3253 kilonewton. Yan. So, ito yung ating resultant force, no? Hindi pa ito yung sagot, no? Ito pa lang yung isang kailangan natin para makompute natin yung ating moment sa hinge. Kitandaan natin, yung ating solution ay ito talaga, no? Ito. R times that distance, no? Papunta dun sa hinge. So, meron na tayong distance ng ating, resultant force. Oh, check na tayo doon. So, now, para natin makakompute na yung distance niyan papunta sa hinge. So, lalabas. So, sabi natin, yung ating, kung ito yung ating center of gravity, nasa baba yung ating center of pressure. So, dito pala nag-a-act yung ating resultant. Okay? Ano tong distance na to na x na to? Dapat mas mababa yan sa 1.5. Of course. No? Hindi natin malalaman yan, no? Kung hindi natin alam yung distance ng center of pressure papunta sa free surface. So, let's have our illustration again. So let's say, so side elevation naman yung gamitin natin. So ito yung ating, let's say yung stance na gate, yan. Tapos ito yung ating trapezoidal na section, yan. Side elevation to And then ito yung ating kabilang side ng tank or babang side. Sabi natin ito ay, yan, 1.1 meters. Yan. And then, ito ay 1.5 meters. So, nag-act dito, no? Yung ating, yan, resultant force. Yan, yung ating resultant. So, ngayon ang tanong, if this is the center of pressure, ito, center of pressure. So, tama ba sabihin na itong center of pressure na to, let's say ito, yan, yung distance na to papunta dito sa ating free surface, ito yung ating D na distance. Okay? Ngayon, since gusto natin siyang papuntahin to a certain point, or in this case, papunta sa free surface, tama ba sabihin na ito yung ating point O? No, let's say ito yung point O na yan. No, point O. Kung ano man yun. So, applying yung ating formula, no, sabi natin, D is equal to sine squared P multiplied by I sub O over AY bar. Dinarive na natin yan. So, yung ating I sub O is the moment of inertia about point O. Kaso, may iba-iba tayong shape. We have the triangle and dalawang triangle and rectangle. So, balik tayo dito sa itsura na to. So gagamitin natin yung ating moment of inertia transfer formula. Okay? So, sa triangle, so dalawa, huwag kalimutan yon. So, that is, ano yon? I sub G plus AD squared. So, I sub G ng triangle is BH cubed over 36. In this case, ano ang base dito? So, this is 0.75 for the base. And then, yung height is 1.5. Okay? So, this is BH cubed, no? 0.75 times 1.5 cube over 36. Hindi ko na nilalagay yung unit, no? Basta ina-assume ko na ito ay magiging meters to the fourth. Bakit? Kasi cubic meter times meter, meters to the fourth, plus area, yung area ng triangle natin na 0.5625 times distance niya to point O. Ano yun? That is, ito, no? 1/3 ng 0.5 plus 1.1. That is, sorry, 1/3 ng 1.5 plus 1.1 is 1.6 na naka-squared. Ayan. Okay. Plus, para sa rectangle ay, that is base times height, sorry, BH cube over 12. So, base natin is 1.2 times 1.5 cube over 12 plus yung area niya na 1.8 multiplied by kalahati ng 1.5 plus 1.1 kasi gusto natin siyang dalhin dito sa point O sa taas niya. So, that is equal to 1.85 squared. Yan. So, ang ating moment of inertia about point O is equal to ito, 9.518625 meters to the fourth. So, meron na tayong so, ang ating area, sulat lang ulit natin, area natin total is 2.925 square meter. Ang ating y-bar na compute natin is 1.753846154 meters. So, makakompute na natin yung distance na D. So, D distance is sine squared P multiplied by I sub O over A y bar. Yung ating phi, by the way, is 90 degrees kasi naka-upright yung ating plate or trapezoid. So, D, kung sine 90 is 1, so sine squared 90 is 1. So, moment of inertia na lang. So, ating nakapit na moment of inertia is 9.518625 meters to the fourth over the area. Total area natin is 2.925 square meter multiplied by the y-bar na 1.7538 yan, na naka-meters. So, yung ating D na distance, kung hindi kayo nag-round off ng inyong y-bar, no, is close to this value, no, 1.855482456 meter or 1.855 meters. Ngayon, Saan yan dito? Balikan natin yung illustration. So, ito. No, ito yung D na distance. Ito lang yung kailangan natin. So, pwede ba nating sabihin na itong distance na to, ito, ay equal sa yung D na distance minus 1.1 meters. Ito. No, para makompute natin yung ating moment. So, to compute for the moment, yan, moment about hinge, no, yung ating hinahanap or m sub h, sabi natin that is the resultant times the distance x. So, moment sa hinge is equal to the resultant times yung distance na ito, na-compute natin, minus 1.1 meters. So, substituting moment sa hinge is equal to, ito, 50 point, yan, yung na-compute natin na resultant, ito, 50.3253. Yan, 3253 kilonewton. Yan. Then ito, 1.855 so on minus 1.1 naka-meters. So kung hindi kayo nag-round off or round up, diniretso nyo lang sa mga calculator nyo. So it will be close to this answer, no? 38.01988. Yan. 124. Yan. Kilonewton, yan, meter. Or for the sake, let's say kung in 4 decimal places yung hinahanap, 38.0199 kilonewton meter. So, ito yung sagot natin for this problem. Yung moment lang dun sa ating hinge. Okay? So, that's for the first problem or uh, first problem regarding yung ating submerged or plane surface na nakasubmerge sa ating liquid. No? Ito, yan, yung trapezoidal cake. So now let's move with this second problem. Second problem natin, the angle between a pair lock gates is 140 degrees and each gate is 6 meters high and 1.8 meters wide, supported on hinges 0.6 meters from top and bottom of the gate. If the depths of the water on the upstream and downstream sides are 5 meters and 1.5 meters respectively, estimate the reaction at the top and bottom hinges. So, dito na lang natin i-drawing. Ayan. So, ang tinatanong lang sa atin dito ay, ano daw yung reaction sa top and bottom hinges? So, i-drawing natin yung illustration based sa pagkakakwento. So, meron daw pair lock gate na merong naka 140 degrees yung kanyang orientation. So, let's say ito. Yan. Ito, no? Drawing natin ng, paano ba? Nakaganyan. Yan. Yan. Kasi yan, no? Tapos ito, yan. Yan. Ay. Okay, so pair lock gate. So, dalawa. Yan. Yan. Tapos, meron daw, ano daw to? 1.8 meters daw yung ito, no? Yung 1.8 meters. So, 40 degrees ito, no? Ay, sorry. 140 degrees. And then this one is, yan. Ito ay naka 6 meters ang taas. Pero, sinabi sa atin, meron daw silang hinge, no? Supported daw, no? 0.6. Let's say nandito yung hinge. Yan. Ito yung isa. Tapos ito yung isa. Yan. So, 0.6 meters yan mula sa baba at saka mula din sa taas. Ito. Yan. Pareha silang 0.6 meters. So, kung idodrawing natin siya ng naka elevation, site elevation, kasi sabi dito may water daw ng upstream and downstream. So, yung upstream, nandito yon since lock gate to. So, hindi pwedeng magbukas, no? Baka, kasi parang dam, no? Let's say nandito yung 5 meters, nandito banda. Tapos nandito yung ating 1.1, 1.5 meters. So, kung naka-elevation tayo, ganito yung itsura niya, no? Ito yung ating isa sa mga pader ng ating lock gate. So, nandito yung ating 5 meters na height. Yan. Ito. Yan. 5 meters na tubig. Tapos, nandito yung isa, yung ating, yan. Yan. Ito yung ating 1.5 meters. Yan. Ang tanong sa atin, ano daw ang reaction dito sa mga hinge? So, kung drawing ko din naman yung elevation or side elevation ng ating main hinge. Nakaganito. No, let's say ito yon. So, ito yung ating hinge. Let's say ito. Yan. Ito. Yan. So, ito 0.6 to. Ito din, 0.6 meter. So, ang total height niya, by the way, is 6 meters, no? Based din dun sa ating yan, sinabi. Okay? Ang tanong is, ano daw ang mga reaction nito? Ito, R sub, let's say, top hinge and R dun sa ating bottom hinge. Ito ang mga kailangan nating makompute. So, ayan yung problem. Okay? Ang tanong, paano natin kukumputin yan? So, first things first, we have to compute yung mga hydrostatic forces. Kasi yun yung topic natin, di ba? Or yung ating unang-una, no? Hydrostatic forces. And then, in-apply natin na nakalubog or submerged or immersed in a fluid. So, computin natin yung mga hydrostatic forces, okay, ng ating mga tawag dito, ng mga elements or ng mga nandito sa ating setup. Okay. But before that, no, before answering this sample problem, we have to have this concept na yung ating hydrostatic force, okay? Kapag nag-act siya, no, sa ating liquid ang nakasayad sa base, okay, is 1/3 ang location niya from the base. Okay? So, to support that, let's first discuss muna yung tinatawag natin na i-discuss muna natin yung pressure diagram. Okay? So, ipopost ko muna yung sample problem number 2 for this discussion. Okay? So, let's have this pressure diagram. So, the resultant force and center pressure can be found graphically for walls and other surfaces of constant vertical height for which it is convenient to calculate the horizontal force exerted per unit width. Ano ibig sabihin nun? So, in this case, no, let's say meron tayo ditong pader, no? Ay. So, let's say ito yung ating base, no? Yung katulad din sabi ko kanina, let's say ito yung ating wall. So, we have this liquid. Yan, ito. Dito. So, ito yung ating height ng ating liquid. Yan. Okay. We know that tumatama, no, yung ating hydrostatic force saan? Sa tinatawag natin na center of pressure. Okay? Sa center of pressure. So, kung ano man yon, no? Pero, alam natin, no, from our discussion ng variation ng pressure, yung pressure dito sa bottom, okay, is equal to the gamma ng liquid times H. Okay? So, ngayon, kung meron mga element, let's say dito, meron tayong pressure sub 1, pressure sub 2, so, kailangan lang natin ng mga distances. So, H sub 2, yan, H sub 1. So, P sub 1 is gamma H sub 1. P sub 2 is gamma H sub 2. And we know na mas malaki yung habang lumalalim ka, mas malaki yung pressure sa baba. Okay? So, if that's the case, if we're going to draw the pressure diagram, no, na itong ating pressure, so, or ating setup, so, say ito yon. So, habang bumababa ka, tumataas, so ito yung ating pressure sa bottom, yan. Tapos sa pinakataas, syempre wala kang pressure, so zero. Habang tumataas, bumababa ka, tumataas. So, mapapansin nyo na triangular yung ating pressure diagram. And we know, sabi natin, yung center of pressure, doon nag-act yung ating resultant force. Ito, dito daw sa ating center of pressure or C sub P or C. Nandiyan yung ating resultant force. Ang tanong, ano ang location niyan doon sa ating dito sa tip na to, no? So, for the center of pressure, yung kanyang location, no? Kung sumaktong nakasayad, no? Let's say sumayad dito yung ating pressure diagram, no? Burahin na lang natin ito pasobra. Let's say sumakto talaga siya. Ayan. Sumakto yung ating pader, no? Doon sa ating tubig. Okay? So sabi natin, pwede din natin magamit yung ating distance, no? Ito yun, 'di ba? Yung ating D. Ito 'yan, 'di ba? Yung ating D na distance from the surface, no? Kung sumakto siya, no, at saktong-sakto at hindi natin kailangan gamitin ang transfer formula, that is sin squared P multiplied by K sub G squared over y bar plus y bar. Okay? So, k sub g squared or k sub g is equal to the square root ng I sub g over area. So, ano ang I sub g? Kung ito ay height, let's say meron tayong width na base. Okay? So, that is k sub g is equal to square root ng bh cube over 12 over area na bh. Okay? So, maiwan na lang dito, k sub g is equal to square root ng, this will be equal to, maka-cancel to, so h squared over 12 na lang. So, yung ating k sub g squared is h squared over 12. Yung ating y bar, sabi natin, from the center of gravity, kalahati, so that is h over 2. Okay? So, h over 2. So, therefore, para makompute natin yung distance na yan, gamit yan, no, d is equal to sine squared phi multiplied by k sub g squared over y bar plus y bar. So, sine 90 natin is equal to 1. 90 kasi yung ating plane ay naka-upright. D is equal to k sub g squared, this is h squared over 12 over y bar h over 2 plus h over 2. So, simplifying this, no, may iwan, lalabas, this is equal to, parang mamumultiply, pabaliktad, no? H over 6 plus h over 2. So, simplifying this, lalabas na yung ating d. Yan. Yung ating d na distance will be yan, equal to 2/3 ng ating height. Okay, so, para mapatunayan, sige, so this becomes 6. So, h, ito, ayan, so, plus 3h or 4h over 6 or equal siya sa 2/3 na h. So, tama, no? Kasi yung ating triangle, dito, 2/3 siya ng h. Kung nasa baba tayo, eto, 1/3 ng ating h. Okay? So, yan yung ating sa pressure diagram. E, paano, sir, kung naka-inclined? Yan. So, kung naka-inclined tayo, yung ating pressure, no? So, lalabas, no? Let's say ito, no? Let's say ito yung ating free surface. Yung ating pressure, let's say the pressure diagram ay naka-inclined. Yan. So, ganun pa rin siya. Mag-act siya dito. So, let's say ito yung ating yan, distance ng ating triangle. Yan. 2/3 pa rin to. Ito 1/3. Pero, alam mo na meron kang vertical distance na hinahabol. Okay? Or y bar. Okay? So, yun yung ating isosolve na using yung ating katulad kanina, sine or cosine. No? Katulad ng ating unang pinag-usapan. Okay? So, now let's go back to sample problem number 2. So, balik tayo dito. So, to compute for the hydrostatic forces, so, alamin natin. So, dito sa 5 meters, dito papalo, no? Kung 1/3, so dito, malamang yung ating, let's say, P sub 1 para sa upstream, and then dito, P sub 2 para sa downstream. Kontrahan to kasi tumatama dun sa pader. Okay? So, let's compute for the hydrostatic forces. Yan. Yan, hydrostatic forces. Yan. So, for the hydrostatic forces, by the way, you could use no yung ating, may dalawa tayong approach, no? Pwedeng gamitan natin ng hydrostatic forces na this is or F na lang, na gamma AY bar, or pwede rin using yung ating pressure diagram. Balik tayo. So, sa pressure diagram natin, eto, nakikita nyo, yan, meron tayong triangle. So, by the way, this is what we call yung ating pressure diagram. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng pressure diagram. Paano? Kunin natin yung area ng pressure diagram times the area. Okay? So, paano yun? So, eto, lumalabas or certain, so lalabas ito, ito yung ating base, no, na gamma H or gamma H na malaki. Ito yung H na height. So, pag kinuha natin yan, so, let's say yung ating force is equal to area ng triangle. Okay? So, multiplied by D, ano pa? Multiplied by D, kung ano man yung width na ating ina-analyze. Ito, ano man to, yung width na to. So, times D width. Bakit ganon? So this equal to 1/2, yan, gamma H yung ating base times the height na H. Okay? Ano pa? So, times the base. So, kung isa-substitute natin, so let's say this is naka-kilonewton per cubic meter. So, let's say 1/2. So, this is, let's say, kilonewton per cubic meter na unit times H square meter times meter. So, maka-cancel to kasi cubic meter. So, matitira na lang talaga na naka-kilonewton yung ating unit. So, pwede din natin gamitin ito, ano, sa 1/2 gamma or rho g H squared times the width, no, nung ating wall, no, na to, kung saan tumatama. So, pwede tayong gumamit dito, no, pwede rin na 1/2 gamma H squared times the base ng wall. So, either of the two, parehas yan, magbibigay sa'yo ng parehas na answer. So, dito na lang muna tayo, no? Pwede rin naman to check, no? Kung tama ba yung na-solve natin gamit yung concept ng pressure diagram. So, mas safe ito sa taas. Actually, parehas lang naman, pero mas convenient sa atin dahil yung unang pinag-aralan natin is yung ating resultant is rho g a y bar or gamma a y bar. Okay? So, let's compute muna para sa ating upstream side or P sub 1, that is gamma A Y bar. So P sub 1 is equal to 9.81. So water naman yung sinabi. Kilonewton per cubic meter. Area 5 times 1.8. Naka-square meter na yan. And then 2.5 Y bar kalahati, no? Balikan natin. 'Di ba nandito 'yan, no? Kalahati ng 5. Ito para sa dito tumatama yung ating center of ano ba 'to? Pressure no ating, let's say, no ating element. Okay? No, center pressure sa taas yung center of gravity. So, yung ating P sub 1 para sa upstream is equal to 220.725 kilonewton. Yan. So, yan yung ating for the upstream. Now, for the downstream, dito, yan, downstream. So, P sub 2 is equal to, ganun ulit, gamma A Y bar. So, pwede nyo i-check kung tatalab ba yung 1/2 gamma H squared B. Actually, tatama yan. No? Yung H yung height ng inyong liquid, yung B yung base. So, in this case, mukhang binigay naman na yung ating base ay, o yung width is 1.8 meters. Okay? So, P sub 2 na tayo sa downstream is gamma, tubig pa rin, 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter multiplied by the area, no, 1.5 lang yung taas times 1.8 square meter, tapos kalahati ng ating height ng water. Yan. So, P sub 2 is equal to 19.86525 kilonewton. So, for the hydrostatic force na P is equal to P sub 1 minus P sub 2. So, P, kung isasubtract natin, that is 200.85975 kilonewton. Okay? Yan yung ating force, no, na P na tumatama. So, dito. So, let's say nandito yon, dito banda siguro. Yan, eto. Kasi, ano may resultant, no? Assume lang. So, ngayon, alamin natin yung location na to. Let's say y na distance. Ano yung location na yan? From the base. Okay? Sabi natin, so pwede tayong gumamit ng summation of moment or what we call Varignon's theorem or summation of moment. Saan? Dito. No, let's say ito ay point, let's say B kasi base. Yan. Summation of moment sa B, ng base, nung lahat ng forces, no, include yung total, hydrostatic, at yung mga ating element na ginamit. So, anong ulit sabi natin? That P is equal to P sub 1 minus P sub 2. So, kung summation ng moment, Varignon's theorem, P times Y is equal to P sub 1. Ano nga ulit yung distance? So, P sub 1 is 1/3 nung 5. Yung P sub 2 is from the base, 1/3 ng 1.5. No, na compute natin kanina using yung pressure diagram. Okay? Kasi yung kanyang D distance from the surface ay 2/3. Okay. So, this is 1/3 ng 5 minus P sub 2. Susundan natin kasi dito natin ginawa ang resultant or total hydrostatic. 1/3 ng 1.5. So, P, yung total natin, that is 200.8975 times Y, 859 yun pala. 8597 Y is equal to 220.725 times 5/3 minus 19.86525 times 0.5. So, yung ating distance ay kilonewton ito, yung mga distance meter. So, it will give us a meter na value, 1.782051282 meters. O, yan yung distance ng ating ng ating total hydrostatic force ng mga sa tubig, no? From the base. Okay, from the base. Now, the question is, ano yung magiging value ng total na hinge na support, na total na reaction ng mga hinges? Okay? So, if we're going to look back with this illustration, sabi natin, meron daw lock gate, no? So, to maintain that, no, and we are dealing with statics, which means we are dealing with equilibrium condition. So, dapat hindi magkaroon ng pagtumba or pag-overturn itong lock gate. Okay? Paano natin gagawin yon? So, i-analyze natin yung top view ng ating lock gate. Ito na lang. Yan. So, let's analyze yung top view. Sabi natin, ito yung lock gate natin. No? So, top view galing dun sa orientation natin ng drawing kanina. Yan. So, let's say ito yung pantay. Let's say assume na pantay. Yan. So, ito, sabi natin, this is 140 degrees. No? Ito yung lock gate natin. Yan. So, malamang ito yung ito yung P na tumatama, no? Na naka 90 degrees sa ating gate, no? To maintain that, kailangan meron kang forces na na tumutulak or magbalanse, no? Para hindi siya mabuwal. Kasi kung ganyan, edi caused by water matutumba yan. So, meron kang force F na na caused by yung force F na to? Force F na yan na nilagay ko, okay? That force F is the force exerted by one of the gate on the other. So parang lumalabas na parang pagtulak, no? Yung kumbaga sa inyong from our discussion ng molecules, no? May tumutulak na force dun sa isa, no? Parang nagtutulakan sila. So ito 'yon, yung force na 'yon. And then, since magtutulakan yung inyong mga pinto or yung mga gates ninyo, so kailangan may kumontra sa kanya, 'di ba? So hindi magiging balance. So we have this R na ito, force of one of the gates. And then, yung R ninyo is the resultant force for hinges. Bakit resultant na yan? Kasi, isa lang naman yung hinge na nagko-connect. Kumbaga parang yung isang hinge sa dalawang pinto naman na. 'Di ba? So, bakit ganyan yung setup? Para hindi matumba or mabuwal yung inyong lock gate. So, kung kukunin natin yung etong side lang na saan tumatama yung force, kalahati lang, no? Ito. Drawing natin dito. So, ito yon. So, kung ito, 140, malamang ito 70. Yung kanina na F, ito. So, meron tong 20 degrees. Tama ba? So, ito P natin. Tapos, meron tayong R na kukontra sa kanya, no? R na naka 20 degrees din with respect to that. Itong lock gate na to. Yan, isa sa mga gates. Okay? So, summation of forces, let's say along this axis, let's say Z. Yan, Z or Z axis. Okay. Summation of forces. Yan. Along on that axis. So, kung i-rotate natin yung axis na to, kung gagawin natin ganitong itsura. Yan. So, ito yung ating gate. Yan. Ito yung tumatama nating P. So, malamang ito yung ating F. Ito yung ating R. na parehas silang naka 20 degrees. Bakit? Kasi para kontra doon at manatiling 140. So summation of forces, let's say horizontal muna is equal to 0. So F cosine 20 minus R cosine 20 is equal to 0. So F cosine 20 is equal to R cosine 20. So cancel to. F is equal to R. Parehas pala. No? Kung nag-sum tayo ng vertical is equal to 0, that is P upward minus F sine 20 minus R sine 20 is equal to 0. Eh sabi natin F is equal to R. So P is equal to, di pa natin para sa kabilang side equation, 2R sine 20. Bakit R yung kinukuha ko? Kasi punta tayo sa hinge, di ba? Sabi ko, R is the resultant force for hinges. So, yung ating R is equal to P over 2 sine 20. We have the value ng ating P na 200.85975 kilonewton over 2 sine 20. At yung ating R will be equal to 293.6373104 kilonewton. Kaya yan yung value ng ating R. So ngayon, saan siya dyan sa ating equation? So ito, balik tayo dito. So, yung R natin ay naglalaro dito. Siyempre, dapat kontra siya, no? Ayan. Kung ano man yan. Okay? Ito yung ating R. Ngayon, since ginawa nating analysis ay coplanar at concurrent forces, no? Coplanar that lies on the same plane, concurrent lying on the same point. Bakit tayo naging concurrent? Kasi sinam natin yung ating mga forces, no? At mukhang tumatama siya to a certain point. Ito. No? Kaya coplanar tapos concurrent. Okay? So if that's the case, we analyze that in a coplanar and concurrent, is it safe to say na yung distance na to, yan, ay equal sa distance y para sa P. No? Kasi concurrent eh. So, i-drawing ulit natin dito. So, let's say ito yung ating gate na may hinge. So, yan. So, ito yung may hinge. So, let's say ito yung ating isang hinge sa baba. Ito yung isang hinge sa taas. So, 0.6 meters. Okay? And then in this case, so 0.6 din ito. Yan, 0.6 meters. So, nandito yung ating force at the bottom. And then this is the force at the top. Okay. So, let's make this point point D. Ito. Point dito na sa baba. Ito point C. Yan. Tapos, nandito yung ating yan, resultant. Na, this is equal to y distance na na-compute natin para sa ating katulad kayo na sa hydrostatic force, yung 1.7820 and so on. No? So, ang gagawin na lang natin para ma-compute natin yung sa top tsaka bottom hinge is mag-sum na lang tayo ng moment. Okay? So, mag-sum tayo ng moment sa C, makakompute equal to 0. Makakompute natin is force or hinge force sa baba. Okay? So, that is R times negative R times the bottom hinge. Kasi ano ba ito? Counterclockwise. Times 6. 6 meters yung total height ng gate. Minus 0.6 minus 0.6. Dalawa kasi ito, bawas. No? And then, equal sa, sorry. Plus pala to. Minus din. Sorry, plus. Plus clockwise ng ating resultant multiplied by yung ating 6, no? Sa C, di ba? Ito yung distance na kailangan natin, no? Ito. 6 minus yung ating hinge. Ayan. Minus yung ating y distance na equals to 0. So, lahat igamitin natin yung r kanina na solve natin. Ito. Yan. Yung y natin. Ito. So, we will have our bottom hinge na resultant na equals sa 221.3259856 kilonewton. So ito yung sagot natin, no? Para sa ating bottom at the hinge at the bottom. Ngayon, kung gusto nating maging safe, no, pwede din naman if you have the resultant na. So gawin mo na lang i-minus mo na lang yung iyong from the resultant. Pero kung ayaw mo, mag-sum ka ng moment sa point D equals sa 0. So makakompute mo yung ating uh, top na resultant, force sa top hinge. So that will be equal to positive yan, R sub sa top multiplied by 6 minus 0.6 minus 0.6, the same. Tapos, minus yon R multiplied by yung distance na Y minus 0.6 na equals to 0. So, applying that, lahat ng values natin, yung ating force sa top hinge is equal to 72.31132.483 kilonewton. Okay? So actually, pag pinagsum naman ninyo yan, is equal to sa ating resultant na na-compute natin. So that is for our sample problem number 2. Okay? So now let's move with this sample problem number 3. The sample problem number 3 is the application of pressure and head, no, na kaninang sinolve natin. So let's have this problem. A closed tank rectangular in plan with vertical sides 1.8 meters deep contains water to a depth of 1.2 meters. Okay? So, i-drawing natin agad, no? Parang yan yung ano natin, no? Tip natin na parang kapag binasa yung problem, drawing agad, no? So, meron daw rectangular in plan. So, let's say pag ganito, no? Rectangular daw eh. Ayan. Meron daw tubig. Yung ba yung sinabi? Tubig. Ayan. May tangke daw. Rectangular in plan. Tapos yung isang side daw is 1.5, sorry. Vertical sides 1.8 meters deep and contains water a 1.2 meters. Okay. So yung depth daw niya, ito, 1.8 meters. Pero yung tubig na nakalagay lang ay ito. Yan. 1.2 meters. Okay. Ngayon ang sinabi sa atin, air is pumped. No? Take note, water ito. So alam natin na may density or gamma. No? So alam na natin yan. Ngayon, pinump daw sa loob ng air. Siguro naglagay ng butas dito. Tapos saka nilagay yung hangin hanggang sa maabot sa ibabaw nito yung 35 kilopascal or 35 kilonewton per square meter na air pressure. If the length of one of the wall of the tank is 3 meters, ito, isa daw sa mga length niya is 3 meters. Ang tanong, determine the resultant force on this wall, okay? On this wall and the height of the center pressure above the base. O yun lang ang tinatanong sa atin. Resultant force and the height of the center. So parang ano to? So we are assuming na from the base sa baba. Let's say ito yung base natin, ito. So ito, baseline. Yan. Yun yung hinahanap. Ano daw yun? So, let's draw this na naka side view, no? Ayan, ito. Yan. So, let's say ito yung linya ng sa inyong water. So, ikakat lang natin, ha? Yan. Ayan. Ayusin lang natin. So, i-drawing natin siya na naka-cut yung ating tank. Yan. Yan. So, nandito yung level ng water, no? This is 1.2 meters, no? Ito yung air na merong pressure na 35 kilopascal or 35 kilonewton per square meter. Ang tanong lang, ano yung pressure na tumatama or force? So, ang gagawin natin is to draw the pressure diagram. Okay? Para mas madali. Kasi may dalawang klase ng fluid na nag-act dun sa wall. So, take note of this. Since ang unang sinabi sa problem ay close na agad yung tank. Close na. Saka nilagay yung ating air. So, close na yung tank na may tubig. Tapos saka nilagay yung air or saka pinump yung air. Sabi natin do sa pinakaunang discussion natin, kapag air, yung variation ng pressure is so small to the point na buong surface ng naranasan ng air ay uniformly distributed yung ating pressure. So kung drawing natin yung pressure diagram, let's say ito yung isang side ng wall. So let's say ito yon. Yan. At ito ay merong height na ano daw to, 1.8 meters. Yung buong itong 1.8 meters ay makakaranas no 35 kilonewton per square meter na air pressure. Okay, so ito yung baseline. Ngayon, doon sa ating water, since siya ay no, ano lang, naka 1.2 meters lang. So, sa water is 1.2 pero sabi natin kung water to, magiging ano, triangular yung approach yan pag ganyan. No? This is gamma H, no? And in this case, yung H na yan na tinutukoy ay 1.2 meters. Okay? So, ang question lang sa atin is, ano daw ang pressure na resultant force na tumatama doon? Okay? And then, ano ang location ng resultant na yon from the base? O, yun lang ang kailangan nating sagutin sa problem. E di mukhang, kailangan lang natin tong ipag-add. Yung resultant is equal to yung force due to air plus force due to water. Okay? So, gamit yung pressure diagram natin, that is force, no? That is 35 kilonewton per square meter. Binigyan na tayo ng pressure times anong area ang tumatama? Sabi sa atin, 1.8. Yung isa daw sa mga base ay 3 meters. So, 1.8 meters times 3 meters. So, plus sa tubig, that is 1/2 gamma. So, 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter. Yan. Multiplied by yung ating yung ating height na 1.2 meters gamma h squared. So, isa pang h, no, naka-squared yan, times the base natin na 3 meters. Tama ba yan? 1/2 gamma h squared. Okay, ito yun, di ba? 1/2 gamma, so ito, 1/2 gamma h times yung ating width. Yung resultant force natin, pag kinompute natin yan, okay, it will give us a value of 210.19. So, ito, dito, ni-round up ko na lang, no? Para mas mabilis. 210.19 kilonewton. Okay, so, ito na yon. Ngayon, para malaman natin yung ating location ng resultant, edi gamitan natin ng summation ng moment or Varignon's theorem. So, let's say dito papunta sa moment to, let's say point O. Yan, sa baseline or moment to the baseline. Summation of moment to the baseline is equal to 0. So, mangyayari ay yung mga components na moment equals sa resultant force na moment. So, R times let's say Y na distance is equal to force due to air times kalahati, 1/2 ng 1.8. Yan, plus force due to water times 1/3 ng 1.2 meters. So, kapag sinubstitute natin lahat yan at ginamit din natin yung ating mga equation kanina, it will give us a value na approximately 0.85 meters from the base. 0.85 yan, meters from the base. So, ayan yung sagot natin for the problem number 2. Okay? So, that is for our problem number 3. And then, let's have with our last discussion on the resultant force and center of pressure on a plane surface immersed in a liquid. Yan. So, dito nakalagay, if a surface is curved and the forces produced by fluid pressure on the small elements making up the area will not be parallel and therefore must be combined vectorically. Yan. It is convenient to calculate the horizontal and vertical components of the resultant force. So kapag hindi siya plane or uh, hindi siya parang plane kapag in-upright mo 90 at merong curve, no? Meron tayong mga components. Okay? Yung ating P na or force natin, okay, ay yung ating horizontal component. Okay? Yung ating R sub H dito, in this case, is yung ating pwede ma-compute, no? So may dalawang scenario tayo. Una, kapag yung liquid nasa side ng curve at yung isa ay hindi nasa side ng curve. Ito, nandito sa labas. Kapag nandito sa side ng curve, madali. This is gamma AY bar para sa ating resultant. Actually, dito rin, no? Para sa horizontal natin. Gamma AY bar din. No? Yun nga lang, magkakaroon tayo ng difference kapag nandun na tayo sa kabilang side ng ating kapag nandun tayo sa side na hindi natin alam kung saan yung may tubig at walang tubig. Okay? So sa vertical, so gagamitan natin to ng volume. So kapag dito sa may side ng tubig, so ang ating vertical is equal or R sa V is equal to gamma times the volume. So volume, ano yung volume na to? Ito, yung tumatama na to dito. Okay? So kung ito ay nataon na quarter ng circle, kung may radius siya, so kung natin yung project, yung area na to times the width. Okay? O yun lang. No? Yung area na to times the width ng liquid, no? Kung ano man yung base na yon, para katulad kanina. So, ganun din dito sa kapag yung liquid hindi nandoon sa side nung nasa loob ng curve. Ano ba to? Parang, let's say, parang barko. No? Nasa labas. Ganun din, yung P dito is, pwede to gamitan ng uh, pressure diagram. Pwede yung 1/2 gamma H squared times B. Pwede yan. No? Kasi, tumatama na pressure yung pinag-uusapan. Dito kasi may sakto no? Sakto na may volume, no? Dito sa kabilang side wala. So, pwede rin yun. So, dito is gamma volume pa din, pero in this case, yung volume na pinag-uusapan to kasi nasa loob, alam natin na yung centroid nito ay nasa loob. Yung volume na pinag-uusapan to is yung displaced volume or volume displaced ng liquid na nasa labas. Sabihin yung counterpart niya, kung ano man yun na tumatama. In this case, ito lang yun, ito lang, dito. No, ito. Yung volume na to. Okay? Na tumatama dyan para, ano, para maging, or para mag-hold yung inyong uh, curve, no? Or in this case, ito siguro, yan. Yung volume displaced niya. No, dapat yung volume na to is equal, eto, isi-shade ko. Yung volume na nandito is equal dapat dito sa volume na to. Okay? Yun yung volume displaced. No? Assume na para mag-curve siya, no? Or para magpantay. Di ba nalala nyo, kung babalikan natin, yung unang part ng discussion natin, yung pinakauna, eto. Yan. So, eto, yung sa forces on curved surfaces, so meron tayo dito mga maliliit na force. So, yung resultant mo, malamang nandito. Yan yung resultant. So, kukontra siya para manatiling naka-curve yung inyong curved surface. Okay? So, ayan yung ating para sa ano natin, sa pag naka-curved surface. So, applying yung inyong resultant is the square root ng inyong uh, element na forces. Okay? So, our Pythagorean theorem. So, to have this example, or para magkaroon tayo ng example problem, okay, let's have this example na final. Sabi dito, a sluice gate in the form of a circular arc is of radius 6 meters as shown. Yan. Calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant force on the gate and the location with respect to point on its line of action. So para mas madali, kunin natin itong illustration na to and let's put it in this side of our PowerPoint. Yan. Okay? Yan. So, ito yung ating gate, no? Hinahanap, ayan, no? Naka-drawing na. Actually, meron na nga dyan, no? Nakalagay na 6 meters. Pero kung wala, no? Kung walang height at binigay lang ay radius, madali pa rin natin makakompute, no? Bakit? So, we're just going to use this, ito, no? Itong triangle na to. Yan. Sabi natin kasi, Binigyan tayo ng angle 60, ano ba to? Naka 60 degrees yung from the center line. I think this is the center niya, point O, no? Kasi radius to eh, 'di ba? So, kung kumpitin natin yung h na yan, so tama ba sabihin na ito ay h over 2, no? Kung total height yung ito nasa side na to, h, yan. So, h over 2 to. So, using Pythagorean theorem, no, sine 30 is equal to opposite h over 2 over hypotenuse 6. So, h over 2 is 6 sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 half. 1 half of 6 is 3. So, h over 2 is 3. Kaya tama talaga na yung total height mo ay 6 meters. Ito, correct. No? Edi okay na, na-solve na natin. So now, una nating i-solve is yung ating horizontal force, no? Na tumatama dun sa sluice gate. Sabi natin, yung ating horizontal force ay equal saan? 1 half gamma h squared b. Kaso wala namang binigay na width. Walang binigay sa problem. So ating kukumputin ay kilonewton per or horizontal force per meter width. Okay? So applying yung ating R sub h is 1 half gamma, tubig ito, 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter multiplied by the height, no? Binigyan tayo ng height na 6 meter. Yan. So, yung ating horizontal height, no? Pag kinompute natin, it will give us a value of, ayan, 176.58. Yan. 176, this is meter, no? Yan, 176.58 kilonewton per meter. Take note ha, wala kasi tayong width. No, wala. Unknown. Unknown sa atin tong width na to. Kaya per meter width. So check na, no? Kasi ang kailangan lang naman natin sa problem, balikan natin. Ang kailangan natin sa problem, horizon, resultant, location with respect to point O, and magnitude direction, yung ating, I think the theta, na nakalagay dito. And yung location daw sa point to. Mamaya na yung location. Ito muna, balik muna tayo dito. So, meron na tayong horizontal. Paano ngayon yung vertical? Yung vertical is, tulad ng sabi ko kanina, sa vertical force, gagamit tayo ng formula na gamma times the volume. Or ano ba to? Weight. No? In this case, yung itong weight na to, counterpart dun sa weight na caused by the liquid. Diba? So sabi ko kanina, itong volume na pinag-uusapan natin is the displaced volume. Lalo na kung ang setup ay nasa labas nung naka-curve. Hindi siya nasa loob, di ba? Parang katulad nito. Pakita ulit natin. Dito kasi makikita nyo, do sa kanan, nasa loob siya kaya gamma volume. Okay? So kunin mo lang kung quarter circle yan or certain, di ba, sector ng inyong circle, or, no? So kunin nyo na lang yung area times the width. Okay? Or kung per meter width, area lang. Diba? Ngayon, kung nasa labas, volume displace ang kailangan natin. So, balik tayo dito. So, mukhang ang kailangan natin dito is the volume displace. Ano yung volume displace? So, kung magdodrawing dito ng line, ito. So, ito, sagad-sagad, no? Meron tayo ditong yan. Itong i-shade ko. Dapat itong shinadean ko ay equal siya dito dapat. Yan. Equal. So, paano yun? Paano mangyayari doon? So, to compute for that, no, yung ating volume displace ay kailangan equal dun sa volume ng water na nandun sa labas. So, dahil nga wala tayong width, no, gamma vol, or per certain per meter width tayo, area ang kukunin natin. Area muna. Kasi volume is equal to area. Alam natin na volume is equal to area times the width. Mukhang area lang ang makakompute natin. Ano yung area na yon? Area nung segment PSQ. Ayan, nakalagay sa inyong illustration. Is equal saan? Area nung inyong sector OPSQ minus area nung triangle. 'Di ba? Na OPQ. Ayan. So, in this case, this will be equal to area ng sector OPSQ. Paano ba kinukuha ang area ng sector? So, from circle, Balikan natin yung trigonometry. So, let's say this is the circle na merong, yan, radius. So, kung ito yung inyong sector na kukunin, meron tong, let's say, theta. So, ang area ng sector na yan na shaded is equal to area ng buong circle multiplied by the ratio ng kanilang interior angles, theta over 360. So, in this case, area ng circle natin is pi radius r squared 6 squared multiplied by 60 over 360 minus area ng triangle 1/2 base. Anong base natin? That is 6 times height na kung kanina is 6 sine 30 yung ating h over 2, this is equal sa 6 cosine 30. So, multiplied by 6 cosine 30. So, yung ating area ng segment PSQ, yan, is ayan. So, ito, no? Yan, 3.261, yan. Naka-square meter ton. 3.26109.8, yan. And then, so on, no? Square meter. Yan. So, meron na tayong area nun. So, gamitin natin. Ibig sabihin, yung area na to, pag multiply ko sa width, yun yung displaced volume na yun. Okay? Na kailangan natin. So, for the vertical force, R sub V, gamma times volume. In this case nga lang, yung volume natin, mukhang area lang. No? Kasi wala tayong width. Gamma 9.81 kilonewton per cubic meter multiplied doon sa area na na-compute natin na 3.2610986 and so on. Square meter. So, lalabas na yung ating R sub V is equal to 31.99113, yan, 7, yan, so on, kilonewton per meter width. Ayan. So, to compute for the resultant, yan, square root ng ating R sub H squared plus R sub V squared. So, R sub H natin, square root natin ay, ano yung R sub H natin na compute? That is 176.58. So, in 2 decimal places na lang natin. 176.58 squared plus, ano ba to? 31.99 squared. Yung ating R is 179.45 kilonewton. Yan. Per meter. Okay, huwag nakakalimutan yan. So, yung ating angle na kino-compute is gamit lang yung ating triangle, no? So, balik tayo dun sa inyong illustration. Ito. So, mukhang ito yung angle na kailangan nyo ma-compute, no? Ito. So, ano ba to? This will be equal to, itong theta na to is inverse tangent ng inyong R sub V over R sub H. So, ito, 179.45 kilonewton. So, inverse tangent ng inyong R sub V over R sub H, yun yung inyong theta. So, theta is equal to 10.70, yan, 10.27 degrees Celsius. Ayan. So, ngayon ang tanong, saan daw yung location niya from point O? So, from point O, syempre, para maging pantay ito, kailangan yung inyong R ay tumama sa center ng point O. Kasi kung hindi, ang mangyayari, magti-tip over nyo, sluice gate. Okay? So, that's it for our discussion on the curved surfaces. And that ends our discussion on the topic na, or lecture 3 natin na static forces on surfaces.